friends, KillerBee here. Do you like beer, bars, and trains? Well then this video is for you. We are going on a little road trip, heading north from Green Bay to Crivitz, Wisconsin, up Highway 141, following the Escanaba and Lake Superior Railroad and exploring the bars along the way. Most of the communities we are visiting you probably wouldn't think twice about if you drove up 141. No wonder, with only one of them having over 1,000 people, and barely at that. And if you did drive through one, you probably wouldn't think there was much there. But we are going to pause and look around. I started out with the criteria you had to be able to see the trains from inside the bar because, well, otherwise it would just be a video on beer and the bars. But I soon realized I had to make exceptions. Still, this pretty much eliminated any establishment more than a couple blocks from the track. But not to worry, we still have plenty to explore. So let's go. Oh, while I kinda hate labeling a bar as a dive, let's say many of them had unique characteristics. A quick background first. The railroad began building north from Fort Howard near Green Bay in 1881, reaching Crivitz in 1883. It eventually became the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul, and Pacific, known as the Milwaukee Road. In 1980, the Escanaba and the Lake Superior Railroad took over operation of the line. Paralleling it was Wisconsin State Trunk Highway 57, which was extended north from Green Bay to Upper Michigan in 1923. Its designation was changed to U.S. Highway 141 in 1928. But I am veering off course. Our first stop is...
Sobieski, huh?
Say it.
There's a Sobieski guy. There are some, remember?
That's what you
It's
said.
Sobieski.
It's Sobieski.
Sobieski. It is Sobieski.
Wikipedia describes Sobieski as an unincorporated, census-designated place. The community was settled by Polish immigrants. It doesn't rate mention on the highway exit sign, and the sign entering the community is as basic as you can get. But don't let that deter you. 2 blocks over the tracks sit 2 bars. On the south side of County S is Kroll's, and straight across the street is Twisted Family. Older maps label this as Main Street. We'll stop in Kroll's first. It is a classic old building with living quarters upstairs, which is still occupied. It takes its name from the owner, Lester Kroll. It is a small place. The bar seats maybe 12 people. But talk about character. The floor slants, necessitating leveling the pool table by adjusting its legs. When the weather is nice, one can sit out on the patio and await the train. Directly across the street is Twisted Family, another classic old building with an upstairs. We were told in more recent times it reportedly had been a motel, then a home using some of the upstairs bedrooms with a separate living quarters downstairs that was rented out. It also has a small bar seating maybe 10 to 12 people, but there is a separate pool room. The only way to keep a watch for a train is from the pool room or hanging out in front. Continuing west is Racer's Bar and Grill, now closed, and the Old Crow Bar and Grill. Originally I wrote it off as being too far from the track, as you can see, but I couldn't help myself and actually made a trip back to check it out. I came across the owner and asked him how the place got its name. He said they couldn't think of a name, so they took it from a list of popular bar names. They initially got grief because it is similar to Kroll's. Although the bar really didn't have anything special, except for the crows, it did have one noticeable characteristic: the noise level. The dozen or so people were having 4 separate conversations, all loud. I was there on a Wednesday, which I was told was the loudest day of the week. It was great.
All
1
4 miles north is the community of Abrams. German immigrants were reportedly the first settlers to arrive. The depot was built on land owned by W.J. Abrams, so the stop was named after him. There's just one bar by the track now, Glover's, named after its owner since 2022. It is on Main Street at the intersection with East Railroad Street. Previously, it had been Tammy's Trackside, and before that, Jim's Bar. That owner reportedly having bought the bar from his uncle in the 40s. Like most older bars, it has been reconfigured over time, according to the bartender. The bar area originally had been smaller, and there had once been a pool room and living quarters. Cooked fish was once sold out of a drive-up window. There had been individual rooms upstairs, and way back it had reportedly been a brothel, capitalizing on its trackside location. Upstairs is now an apartment that is rented out. The pizza is good, the Friday fish fry is fantastic, and other nights of the week have specials too. There are tables by the window where you can keep an eye out for the train, and also at the end of the bar. There had once been a bar next door toward the track, Goki's, but it was torn down recently. Heading up the line 12 miles is Lena. It got its name in 1879 when the post office was established and the postmaster recommended the name of his future wife. The village was incorporated in 1921. Several bars are along, yes, Main Street, in close proximity to the track. Closest, at the intersection of East Railroad Street, is the Hunters and Fishermen's Bar. The owner, Russ, is usually around and is very affable. One day that I stopped in, it was his birthday, and a few friends had joined him for cards. Nevertheless, he still welcomed me and shared a birthday cupcake while I waited for the train. He stated the building has been a bar continually and dates back to around 1900 or a little earlier. There was the original owner, then 3 generations of Kinzingers ran it. The first was a taxidermist and filled the bar with mounts, some of which now go back 120 years. The newest are reportedly 2 fawns from 1934. Russ bought the bar in 1999 and pared down the mounts. He remodeled, but the black walnut back bar is original. There is a back room with more mounts and pictures. Upstairs is an occupied apartment. The sight lines to the track are good. One can sit at the end of the bar or the table by the window and watch for the train. To the east, at the end of the block, is the Wooden Shoe. Sight lines are tough to watch the train from indoors. You have to be right up to the window. However, there is a patio on the side facing the track. It's been the Wooden Shoe since about 1972, getting named by a Dutch couple from Holland. People rave over the Bloody Marys, which are available until 4, and they in fact have a whole Bloody Mary menu. Across the street from them sits the Bavarian Inn, but now we are starting to get too far from the track, and the sight line is poor. 8 miles north of Lena is Coleman. It got its name from a man who owned much of the land in the area and was incorporated as a village in 1902. A number of French Canadians reportedly settled here. Ready for yet another intersection of Main and Railroad Streets? Just kidding, because here it is Railway Avenue instead. Our first stop is the Green Lantern. One of the old farts there said it was always a bar. Originally, the bar was just the middle portion. Over time, 2 additions that had been adjoining businesses were joined in. The owner said it has had that name for as long as he could remember. Although it is close to the track, you can't see it from inside. However, I guess you could say there is outdoor seating. Going across the track, we come to Cheers 2. Okay on the sight lines, but as you can see, that is from the tables. So I just did a quick in and out and moved on. But note, there is outdoor seating too. 2 buildings down is Furky's. No doubt when this was built. According to the locals, upstairs was a brothel back in the day, and it has a reputation of having ghosts. The best I could extract from anybody about its history was that pretty much everything is original except a new ceiling. It might be hard to argue that point, judging from the condition of the bar. There are no sight lines to the track from inside, but technically there is outdoor seating. Okay, let's wrap it up. On to Crivitz, self-proclaimed gateway to the north and population metropolis of around 1100. The railroad arrived in 1883. A German immigrant surveyed and platted a town site and named it after his hometown of Crivitz, Germany. The railroad name for the station, however, was Ellis Junction, after W.A. Ellis, the man selling the railroad the land for the depot and Y track. Crivitz was first incorporated as the village of Crivitz in 1913. It was disincorporated in 1927 and in 1974 incorporated again. Our establishment here is Thor's Wolverine Den. The name is from the owner, Thorson, and the Crivitz High School mascot, the Wolverines. About the best I could get from the bartender for history was that the building was ancient. So I went on the Crivitz Area Talk Facebook group page to ask about its history. I ended up with 117 comments to sift through, some contradictory of others, some vague, and some actually helpful. The first building on site was built in the late 1800s. It was a hotel for a number of years. Best I can piece together, it burned and was rebuilt at least twice. Eventually it became a bar, maybe in the 1970s or 80s. It apparently was the Railroad Inn, Horn of Plenty, Hal's Place, V&V Trackside Saloon, and now Thor's. Somewhere in here it apparently was a supper club and a kitchen takeout. The locals told me the cool bar came from a bowling alley lounge, the Sheridan Lanes Lounge in Menominee, Michigan. And in fact, I found a shot of it when it was still in the bowling alley. At one time there was a dance floor, and a DJ booth is still in the corner. Once there had also been a kitchen and booths in back with the bar in front. Upstairs there are 2 apartments. And its windows and porch sit right across from the ELS tracks and yard. Perfect! Their days open can be a little spotty, so check their Facebook page. Well, there you have it. Our journey is over for now. We've got more routes to travel, so if you aren't subscribed, you may do so now. And here's a link to the beer, bars, and trains around Green Bay. Thank you. Hope to see you again. Bye for now.